Hi, it's me, Rasheed, coach, speaker, and author of Soul-Trader, putting the heart back into your business. And today I wanted to talk about the topic of stepping away or making a major change, or stepping away and making a major change. There are times in our lives, in our careers, in our businesses, where that's what we need to do, or we wish to do, or that's coming through for us to do. And it can come through for all sorts of reasons. It's really interesting that just yesterday, for example, I was coaching somebody I've been coaching in the workplace. They're a senior leader, actually, and they're thinking of, just making a change, and making a major change, taking some time out, pausing, and having a career break. And in fact, there's a couple of people I know who've done exactly that in their careers. And I was highlighting that there are some times where that can be a very powerful and very profound thing to do, to be able to pause and to really, really reset and to give oneself permission to do that. So that happened yesterday, and in fact, a couple of days before, I was coaching somebody else at a point of quite a lot of change, and she was saying that there was a while ago that where she did something different. She stepped away from her day job. She actually moved away for a while. She was working in a completely different environment, different country for a while, doing a number of things that she just really enjoyed, but completely different to what had been her previous kind of day job. And that could be true for you also in terms of it is with your business. It's really important to allow yourself along this journey, the times where you're able to pause, breathe, and think, is this working? Is this working for me? Is this continuing to nourish me? Is this apt for me? In fact, it can be a very powerful and profound thing, because actually the business terrain and life's terrain is changing all the time. What's going on for you in your personal life, what's going on in your within your actual business, or within your industry, or the wider world will be shifting and changing all the time. Businesses change really radically. In the 21 years in which I've been full-time my own boss, it's changed so much. The technology has changed, the landscape has changed, things what have been going on culturally, technologically, in so many ways it's kind of changed. It is kind of changed people's kind of consciousness around coaching, and the challenges that people will have, and the challenges that people have at work and have shifted, and things in the business landscape have shifted. And the kind of client base that I've worked with and served has changed as I've grown, as I've developed, and so on. So you might be at a point whereby you're either feeling that you need to step away for a moment, for a day, for a long period of time, or you might be at a point that you're wanting to make a radical change, or a little bit of both. So I think the first thing to do is just pause and breathe. And it might be worth asking yourself, where is it you're at right now? What's going on for you right now in your personal life? So pause and just sit with that. What's going on for you right now in your personal life? First of all, let's start off with yourself and your health. How's it you're doing right now? Do you need to make some changes in order to be able to take care of your health? For the case of the person who I was coaching, the senior leader, actually, a lot of the reasons for that change is for their own health and their well-being. And so that they had to listen within, they had to listen to their body. But also, I suspect a lot of it was because they've done and achieved quite a lot over a period of time, and that making a change is really important for them right now. But for you, where is it that you are right now in terms of yourself and your health? Are there things that need your attention? Are there things that require affection for you, your loved ones? Are there things that require action for you personally in terms of your health and your well-being? Because that bit of sustainability is absolutely key. There is no business without you, without your health and your well-being. So what's going on for you in terms of your health and your well-being, but also in terms of your life more broadly? You're at a point where you're wanting to slow down. Are you at a point where you're wanting to, that other things might be important to you in terms of what's going on for you personally? Excuse me. So there may be all sorts of reasons why you're wanting to make a change or to step away. Let's, for a moment, zoom in on where you're wanting to step away. And then we'll come back to when we need to make some other kind of a change. Knowing that it's okay to either step away indefinitely, forever, and to do something completely different, and then that leads us to back to that change bit. Or maybe it might be that you're just needing that break in the same way that people have a career break. Maybe you're thinking, actually, I need a break. So it's worth asking yourself, if that step away is emerging, what is that about? Is it that you're wanting to step away forever and do something else? Is it that you're wanting to step away for a period of time? Is it that you're wanting to step away because what you're doing no longer appeals to you? Or it's not practical anymore? All of these things are very, very, very valid. And it's important that we ask ourselves these kind of questions. If it's the case that what you're doing no longer resonates with you, or it doesn't work for you, or the passions, the fuel for that journey has shifted and changed, as it actually had for that client I was working with yesterday, then pause, breathe, and give yourself credit for all the things that you've done and that you've already achieved along that journey. And then it might well be about some of the practicalities. Okay, what's the time frame? What is it that I need to put in place in order that I can move away? Are there things that I need to wrap up? Is it that I'm going to, let my customers know that we're now going to be, we're going to be closing our doors, we're going to be shutting up shop, or that we're taking a break, we're going to be taking a break for X period of time. Know that if it's a kind of temporary thing, then your customers may or may not be there when you kind of get back. That's important for us to be aware of. They may or may not be there. But actually, if you're a sole trader and you've built rich relationships with people, that if you should choose to step back, then many of your customers might still be there when things shift for you. But remember, things are also changing for them too. I think that if you're taking a more shorter term stepping away, just give yourself some thoughts about the practicality about that. How long for? Is it about a month? Is it about 6 months? How is it you're going to communicate that? And also ask yourself, with whatever that change is, it something you need help and support with to help you think through and plan through those kind of changes? Is it that you need a coach or a mentor or somebody can help you kind of walk you through other financial things that you might need to discuss with somebody like an accountant or a skilled business advisor and so on? Other conversations that you're going to need to have with friends, loved ones, family, colleagues, suppliers, and so on, giving those things. Let's then step back to times where it is that you might need to make a change, a significant change. Is it you're making a change for you because you, for example, the way of working, the means of working, the pace of working, the nature of the clients you're working with, the type of work no longer is working for you, or it's no longer working for your clients? Is it a case that, for example, that the business model and the profitability of it isn't really working or working how you imagine it to, and that it requires a little bit of a change up there? Is it a bit of a combination of these things? Is it that your marketplace is changing? Is it the case that perhaps you're in the early years and the early stages of your business and you're trying to kind of figure out how it actually, how it's going to work for you? Getting that business model right. And I will do a separate podcast or video about that. But it's just worth, just being still and sitting with that. What is it that for you is working, and what is it that's not working? You might be thinking, okay, what is working? I like this work. I like the people that I'm dealing with, blah, blah, blah. What's not working is financially. It's not we're not getting the customers we need, and so on. Okay, if that's the change, then it may well be about the business model, the shape and form of the business, and making sure that the business offer is apt. You're very, very clear about who your target customers are. You're very, very clear that there's actually a need for that, and understanding who's actually going to purchase that particular product. And that does take us back to that business model bit. So if it is a change, if it's that change where reconfiguring the business and getting that right from a point of view, practically, financially, profitability, that may well be something that you'll need to work through and work through with somebody who understands you, understands the business, understands the sector. It may actually be, and depending on the nature of the challenge, will depend the kind of person that you need to help you, or the range of different people that you need to work with. If it is, for example, a major change in terms of the business model, the shape and form, it can be really useful speaking to other people in your industry and getting a sense of how things are working. Is this a challenge that's also affecting them? Because it might be not just you, it might be challenges that other people have been there, they've faced, they've been through all of that before, and there's other conversations that you could have that can help you identify the changes that you need to make. And again, this is where sometimes industry groups, industry sectors can be very, very, very useful, because it might well be that similar problems have affected other businesses. People are doing the same things that you do. So those professional bodies relating to what it is that you're doing can be priceless. Networks or groups that relate to your particular industry, your sector, could be really useful. What are the things that other people are doing well, not so well, challenging, and so on. Taking on the learnings of the things that are working well, the things that aren't working well. So that's the kind of thing that may well help you in terms of some of those changes that it is that you might need to make. But also there may well be the question of, is it still working for you? Is it still resonating for you? So there's actually quite a lot of different things for you to think about. And as I put this out there, I'm mindful that there might even be a kind of a part two to this. So I want to just take a moment to just pause and take stock of what we've already talked about. Stepping away and making major changes. So if it's about the stepping away, know that that's absolutely valid, is within your gift. Ask yourself, is it I'm wanting to step away for a moment, for a while, forever from what I'm wanting to do? Allow yourself to be in dream about what it is that you're wanting to do. If it is that you're wanting to step away, is it about stepping away and taking a break? One of the people that I had been coaching, I talked about, it is about stepping away, having a break, and then deciding. Or you might be the kind of person you've already got an idea after you've stepped away what the things that you're wanting to do. So that's that bit about stepping away, and congratulate yourself, have the conversations that you need to have, and so on, and be proud of your accomplishments. If it is the case that it's about making a major change, then it's good to be very honest with yourself. What's working well for me, for my customers, practically, profitability wise? What's not working for me, practically, for my customers, profitability wise? Do you actually know? If you don't know the answers to those questions, is it worth chatting with a coach, consultant, specialist, accountant, other people in your industry, in your sector, in order to kind of pave that way through? But whatever the case it is for you, know that those moments where we really need to pause and breathe and really reevaluate can be very, very powerful. They can be very compelling, because change is the nature of life. Change is the nature of all life. Change is the nature of all things, all sectors, all industries. I was speaking to somebody just the other day in my industry, and they've talked about a particular technological change that's going to radically have an impact on all of the people who are doing what they do because of technology. So there will be these times that the change is very much personal to you, your lifestyle, your health and your well-being. Times where it's a change of you just getting to grips with your own particular business, your customers, what it is that your particular skill set, to get that alignment right within your business, your sector and your industry. And there's going to be times where there are bigger changes afoot that we're all going to need to adapt and shift to. A bit like with, when there's a change of weather, we need to adjust to that. It's the same thing here in business. But one of the things that can really, really, really help you is to also nurture that self-time for yourself, nurture and build those rich relationships with others, people you can have genuine conversations with and to share with, and people who might be able to guide you through that change, and other mentors and peers can be really valuable. So when it comes to these things, choose your counsel very, very wisely. So, but wherever it is that you are, whether it is you're stepping away and you're wanting to congratulate yourself or give yourself credit for right now it's time for something new, or if it is a point of making a major change where even listening to this is just maybe the first step, then well done, acknowledging that next step. And then what is it that you have and what is it that you need? Who is it you could be speaking to be able to kind of help you? And to know that sometimes making major changes can be a really, really powerful thing. And I've, in my business, had to make major changes a number of times, including time where the profitability wasn't right, it wasn't really working well. I needed to understand which bits of my business have the most potential to make money, and which bits of the business weren't as practical, or just took so much time and effort and energy, it wasn't sustainable. So do look out for my other videos, my other podcasts where I'll pick up on those topics, and do look out for a specific special one for me around your business models, where I'm going to be looking at that in a little bit more closely. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.